It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, I put the Project L in the show notes. So what it is, it's like it's kind of like a mini version of Tetris. It's pretty cool. It's you get these like tile cards that have kind of small like puzzles on them, and each turn you draw a tile card and you draw a piece like a puzzle piece, and you can trade up puzzle pieces. Like the lowest one is a yellow square, and on your next turn you can upgrade it to like a two piece rectangle and like that, and you can draw a tile on your square, and then you get three turns each turn, so you get 3 actions each turn. So you can either draw a tile piece, you can draw a puzzle piece, or you can place your tile piece on or your puzzle piece on the tile piece to try to complete the puzzle. And if you complete a puzzle, it has a point number on the top left of the tile and a puzzle piece on the top right, and those are your 2 rewards. And after all the tile pieces are gone, you add whoever has the highest score wins the game. And that one's called Project L, and that one was a lot of fun. Another one we played was called Nekojima, which is kind of like an upgraded version of what do you call it? Jenga. But in this case, you're building like telephone poles or electric lines, I guess, electric line poles. I put the link for that in the show notes. And you're trying not to cross the wires, and you roll a dice to see which district you put your pole in, and at the same time, if you have a black cube, you can give that to somebody else that's playing, and they have to try and hang a black cat piece on one of the electrical lines without knocking over the poles. And so there's not really a winner, but there's definitely a loser. Whoever knocks over the poles is the loser. So it's kind of like Jenga. That was fun. Another one we played was called, I believe, Plague Incorporated was the name of it. So they have this as a mobile game as well, and also Pandemic, I think, is another board game that's real similar. I believe that's a mobile game too. Let's see if I can get that in the show notes here. Yes. Okay. So basically it's okay, it's based on the video game. I didn't know that. I thought the video game was based on the board game. So you play as a disease, and you're trying to wipe out the rest of the world, and it's played with cards, and you get your own like disease board in front of you as well as a board of the world, kind of. And that one's interesting. That one's called Plague Incorporated. I thought Project L was probably my favorite. And there's another one that's kind of a slow-moving strategy game called Harmonies that we played. And that one was pretty cool too. And you can play it, Harmonies. It makes for a good 2-player game too. Let's see, it's a French game. I don't know if the website is in French or not. Yes, not. Harmonies. All right. And so what you're doing is you're building a kind of like a habitat for your animals, and they have to be like using these tiles on a board, and only certain tiles can go together, and then you put a little animal cube on it, and you get points depending on your habitats and animals and stuff like that. And That one's kind of a nice, fun, relaxing game. We play with up to 4 players, I think. Yeah, 1 to 4 players. I don't know how you play a 1-player game, but anyway, that's how that goes. So those are the ones we played. And some party games we've played before. These were all new to us that we played. We played Tapple, which is a lot of fun, and that's kind of like it's just like a big round game piece in the middle that's got the alphabet that goes around it, and it has a buzzer in the middle. So you pull a card, and it has it'll say like movies, and you have to name a movie that begins with whatever letter that you tap. And once you tap that letter, it's out of play for the rest of the game. And so you hit the buzzer, and the next person has like 15 or 20 seconds to name another movie from a letter that they hit. And you just keep eliminating letters until somebody can't name, like a movie, since that's the category. And then once that person goes out, the rest of the people are still in, and you keep going until there's just one person remaining. That's pretty fun. It's a fast-paced kind of category, like a categories type of game. But yeah, board games are a lot of fun. Your family or your friends. They're definitely kind of a renaissance of board games now coming back, and there's so many board games out there that I didn't know about. We went to this board game store in Plano. Let me see what it's called. It had like thousands of board games. Most of them I hadn't heard of. Because they had a sale, buy 2, get 1 free. Oh, it's called Madness Games and Comics. I'll put that in the show notes too. But it's huge. Not far from you, Joe. And there were people in the back that were playing.
Madness Comics?
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of tables in the back where people were playing Magic.
Been there on their
together.
game night too.
Yeah. So anyway, we played a lot of games, and for New Year's Eve had a lot of drinks, a lot of games, and just had a good time. Stayed off the streets.
It kind of stinks. I like playing board games and stuff like that, but to find a group of people that are willing to actually like sit, pay attention, play the game, not be distracted, like it's not always easy.
Yeah, you need to find the right game. Like out of these games, I would say definitely not Harmonies. Nekojima was probably the most party-like game, since it's real similar to Jenga.
And you said it's like Tetris? Oh, no, Jenga.
It's more like Jenga. And then the Project L is kind of like Tetris. But any games that you don't have to use your brain a lot kind of makes for good party games. And especially games where people can knock stuff over, like Nekojima. That's a good one.
Well, or long games too. I played Monopoly for the first time with my daughter earlier this year, and it was the 3 of us, and it took us like 4 days to finish one game.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend like busting out the Risk game for a party atmosphere.
Oh, I love that game so much, though.
But it's very long.
It is. But I had the video game version of it when I was young, and I enjoyed that. Same with Monopoly on NES. Like I could play Monopoly on NES for like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it because then you don't even have to deal with pieces or anything. You just kind of
right.
Anyway. Yep. Yeah. We played. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Mexican Trains. It's basically you play with.
I played that with my grandma.
Yeah, I played that before.
Yeah, my in-laws like it like that, so we played that a couple nights. It's fun. I didn't win one freaking game.
My family likes to play mahjong with the tiles.
Oh, cool! I've never played with a physical version of that. I've only
it's a lot of fun. Yeah, real similar to Gen, like the card game.
Oh, it's not just like matching. What do you do?
Yeah, it is.
I'll have to look up how to play that.
You're trying to make books, which is match either like tiles that are the same or tiles in a sequence like 2, 3, 4, or characters
Oh,
that
in a
go together.
sequence.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
that's cool.
real similar to Gin Rummy, except in tile
Yeah.
form. There's all kinds of ways to
I played-
score and stuff, but usually we just play. Whoever gets mahjong wins the game.
I tell my daughter that, like, growing up, I was like, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers, really, we didn't have the internet. We had 3 channels on television. Like, we would sit and just entertain ourselves. So I played every card game you can imagine, like
Us
all
too.
kinds of board games. Yeah, just like we did so much of that, and it was like constant, every day.
What's so great
And
about it is the very social activity, instead of just
Yeah,
staring at your
yeah.
phone.
Yeah,
So it's
no
good for
kidding.
families, good for friends. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, now it's like there were 5 of us for Christmas, and there were lots of times where literally all 5 of us were just sitting there looking at our phones.
Yeah,
Like, wow,
it's
this is
sad.
exciting.
That's reality now.
Definitely. Couldn't have just stayed at home and done this.
Right. Yeah. No, when me and my family get together, we play a lot of games. We really enjoy that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I have your family.
Well, you can't have my family, but you're definitely welcome